Hello everybody, it's Tracy here. How you going, lovely people? I am doing the video response to Brian Cormack Carr's 7 life purpose questions. Is that what it is? I'm pretty sure it is. I will put the link into his original video down below. I saw that it's probably the beginning of this week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Today's Saturday. And I have really been wanting some time to just sort of sit, knowing that I would have some time to be able to do it. Yeah, I finally are on holidays and I can have some time to really, put all my thoughts and energy. So yeah, this is really interesting. So what I did was the first question, I wrote down, the 5 favourite things. Hang on, I'm just going to move this over a fraction so I can read the questions as I go. So the first question is, so the basis of this tag is to obviously find out what our most heartfelt desires are, and then how to sort of flesh that out and sort of bring it into the now, how we can sort of take those steps closer to what makes us truly more authentic and more connected. The first question is, so there's 7 questions. The first question is, what are your top 5 very favourite things to do in this life? So my first one is draw. I have started this challenge last year in 2017 that I wanted to learn how to draw. I started off very, very basic, and I have since, well, I haven't even completed that course yet, but I started doing a course, an online course by an artist called By Bun. Her name is Roxanne, and her handle is By Bun on Instagram and on YouTube, and she's such an amazing illustrator, creator. Totally love her vibe, her take on things. So I decided that my goal for last year was to do one of her courses. It's a mixed media course and something that I hadn't had any experience with, but that's one of the things that it's one of my happy places to be, is when I draw. Number 2, and this is still question 1, number 2 in that part. So first one is draw, the second one is helping people. I think in my work I do that on a daily basis, and I like being creative as far as coming up with solutions. I also like to sort of get people out of their comfort zone, but in a very gentle way. Like, I like to have exuberance and energy and making things fun, and one of the favourite things I like to do is to organise social bike rides at where I work, and there's quite a few of us that ride our bikes to work, and it's sort of had taken off on a life of its own, and getting these people out of their comfort zone, especially women, and thinking, oh, it's too scary, or it's not safe, or blah blah blah. So I want to sort of encourage them to be more confident, and the way that you get confident is that you put yourself in those scenarios. But what the great part of that is that we do it in a group. So when you're in a group, you're feeling more safe. So I organise it so there are confident riders and there are not so confident riders. So different levels of groups, and we all have fun, and the end goal is that we get to have a coffee or whatever at the end, and then everybody, I mean, it's pretty low-key kind of stuff, it's not hard, arduous endurance courses or anything, but it's just a nice social little gathering where it doesn't involve alcohol or anything like that. It's really healthy, and you're getting out of your comfort zone. So then the third one, and that one is family and friends. So that sort of ties in with the bike rides as well. And spending quality time. So that's one of the things that I really like to do is connect with people on a deep level, in whatever shape or form that comes in. But it's just that connection, and to me it is about quality, it's not about quantity, and really resonating with those people whichever way it's going to happen. And then the next one is riding my bike. I like to be active, I like to be moving, it's just a really cool place to be. You're out exploring and you see things so differently when you're on a bike, and you become very aware. Your skill set and your instincts are just heightened because you're out there and doing your thing. So yeah. And the last one in that first question is my spiritual practices. So whatever spiritual practices that is, whatever it is, I'm not going to go because there's so many of them. That's my very, very favourite things to do. And, obviously it changes through seasons and blah, blah, blah. Okay, question 2 is, if you had to identify a connection between these 5 favourite things, what would that connection be? And that, I couldn't come up with a word. I could not come up with a word. I came up with a feeling. I came up with a visual. I came up with an example. But I couldn't come up with a word. So my visual was, it's like the spider web. The spider web is connected to all the spectrum. It's connected to everything. It feels everything. And I think that's why, if I can say it, I'm still searching for that word. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Interconnectedness, possibly, but it's not the word. I know it's not the word. But it's being like that spider sitting in the web and it feels all the tingles, all the tingles. Number 3, which of your personal qualities do others most recognise as being of value? I didn't really enjoy this question because I don't really get told. Maybe I'm not listening. I do know what it is, but it annoys me. It's like a two-folded kind of thing. Because it's my nature, I think, to listen. It's always been my nature, ever since high school. People have always gravitated towards me and told me things. It annoys me sometimes, and sometimes people sort of take advantage of that, where they don't want to know what I've got to say in response. They just want to offload, and that's the part that annoys me, and where I've become more, maybe a little bit more protective of my energy, where I'm not so readily available. But I have been told that listening is one of the things that they like about me, even though it irks me, because I'd like people to ask me about me. Anyway, carrying on. What one should we get up to? Oh, and I actually got told that someone liked my laugh because it sounded evil. And I said, thanks, because I know that. And number 4 is, where do you think the world needs more support and activities, tools, perspectives to help them provide that support? This was an interesting question that sort of stumped me a bit, but I think if we're going to, it's a pretty big question to answer. I would say it would be self-acceptance. I think there needs to be some place, and I'm talking while we're still, a child, developing these skills like meditation, and so these self-acceptance as a tool would be meditation for one. Another one would be yoga. The third one would be nutrition, and it's just those basic building blocks. I think we put so many things in front of us that make it harder for us to accept ourselves. Even having Louise Hay in the curriculum, you know, doing that mirror work and looking at yourself and being able to tell yourself, you know, how much you love yourself, and what you're willing to do, you know, for yourself to further. Oh, my nose is going off. Oh my gosh. Just to realize your own self-worth. I think I'm getting quite animated. I think for me personally, I see that a lot. I see that a lot in my line of work, where we don't recognize our own value because we haven't spent that time looking there. It's all external. You're always grabbing for something that's externally out of your reach, it seems. But we don't tend to look at the space within us, or we haven't had those people that have helped us to develop those self-acceptance skills. And I think if we started from that basic block, you know, it was like that Maslow hierarchy. If we had all those boxes ticked off, I think we'd be in better shape or form. I have sort of listed the tools. So it's very much a spiritual practice. It's very much a Zen kind of atmosphere where we're not so overloaded with things, where we can have that time. You know, like there are spiritual retreats, or there are these practices where we can teach children how to be, you know, stronger within themselves, you know their potential and feel their body, you know, feel the strength of their body, and to have more resilience. That's the thing that I'm seeing a lot of. There is not a lot of resilience in young people, but okay, I could carry on for days on that one. Number 5, where is your happiest place and what kind of beings live there? I love this question. I couldn't narrow it down to one. There are actually 2. So it's an inside and it's an outside place. So the inside is where I am right now. So this is this place that I've created. I am so happy here. At the end of the day, when I finish work, I come home and I head straight here. This is my office. I don't even really want to call it an office. It's like it's not even my spiritual space. It's just a place where I can just do anything I want. It's like this, oh gosh, it's just amazing. So yeah, that's this space here where I do my meditation, I do my cards, I do my drawing, put my oils on, my plants are here. Okay, so this is the beings that live here. So I have plants. I want to get more plants. And then I have all my crystal babies. I have my spiritual guides. I have my little fur baby number 2. Fur baby number 2 over there. Joe. And fur baby number 1 comes in sporadically. Because he's a hairy beast, so he doesn't rock out too many times here. And I have my son comes and joins me in here because I'm spending so much time in here. He'll come in here and he'll sit on the little medicine ball over there and he'll share me some goodies and we'll have a little yarn and, you know, yeah, did I mention crystals? You know, all my crystal babies, this little piece of tourmaline, and oh, I love it so much. All my books and okay. And then my outside place is a space right outside in my backyard, and I can sit there in the afternoon. The afternoon is probably my favourite space, and it's where I did one of my meditation videos, another VR to Brian's doodads, hashtags. That's one of my favourite spaces to hang out in because fur baby number 1's out there and we'll hang out together. I read out there, I'll just sit out there, my plants are out there, there's more plants. There's a little garden that I've created out there full of succulents and my frangipani tree, which I absolutely adore. And, you know, there's lots of bird life, and, you know, you can hear the neighbours, and, I mean, that's a nice thing too, because, you know, because the kids at the back there, they're always laughing and carrying on, and it's private as well, which I like. I really enjoy, you know, even though it's so noisy sometimes with traffic, but I just get in my zone, and yeah. Okay, carrying on. Number 6, if every single experience in your life, the good and the bad, had been carefully planned, to something missed out of that question, to determine your specific destiny, what would your destiny be? Yeah, this is an interesting one. I would say it would have to be like a peacekeeper, a calm officer, not the Department of Calm here in Australia, which is to do with conservation, but someone that maintains the peace. A meditation practitioner, a healer, a spiritual facilitator, like the Ancient One in Doctor Strange. I would say that would be me, and hopefully I wouldn't have to be bald for that one. And then number 7, I love this question. This is a freaking awesome question. I'm just going to have to move it so I can see it properly. Can we not move it? Yep. If time, money, ability, confidence, prior commitments, and your own personal beliefs were no obstacles to you doing whatever you wanted to do, what would you start doing today? The first thing I wouldn't even hesitate to want to do is to draw, is to be an artist. I mean, it didn't actually say a career of any sort, but I would be an artist like that. No qualms. No qualms at all about that. And I've actually done some cards. I should have really done that at the beginning, shouldn't I? God damn it. Hang on. I've sort of stuffed that up now, haven't I? We're going to roll with it. So I did some cards on each of the questions. So the first question was, what are your top 5 favourite things? I got the, it's a bit dark, isn't it? I got the 8 of Pentacles, and I got I am resourceful. So using my trimmed Rider-Waite and the I am power deck. And these cards sort of, you know, it's quite apparent that I'm working on my craft, and that they are my favourite things. You know, what are your 5 favourite things is stuff that I'm still working on. I don't think I find it a chore. I mean, the guy here, he looks really happy. He looks really happy just to continue doing what he's doing, and obviously he's quite good at it. And the resourceful card is very colour coordinated today. Is to say I am very resourceful. I like that about me. There's a little funny story that we ran out of toothpaste. Well, we're on the last legs of the toothpaste, and I found like these samples of toothpaste packets in the drawer, and I just started using those. It's funny how those things sort of come about, you know. You sort of think, oh my God, I've run out of something, and then lo and behold, the universe provides, and here we are. Have some toothpaste packets. It's all good. You don't need to stress out. Question 2, if you had to identify a connection between these 5 favourite things, I got the Knight of Cups and I am surrender. Freaking love these cards together. Oh my gosh. It is such a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful message from the Knight of Cups and I am surrender, because it's basically what he's doing when he's holding out his cup like this. And the horse has got his leg up like that going and bowing his head. It's just surrendering to those moments that make you so happy. I think that's what I really like. Yeah, it's amazing. These questions are amazing. Like, I'm just thinking about, you know, those 5 favorite things, and with the Knight of Cups and surrender, it's just gorgeous. Okay, number 3, what are your personal qualities do others most often recognize? And I got the 3 of Wands, and I am beginning. 3 of Wands, it seems to be looking out over the horizon. It's almost like he's welcoming people. Like he's ready to, yeah, it's sort of like another take on the 3 of Wands. Like in relation to this question, my personal qualities, it's almost like I'm the welcome wagon. I like that. Yeah, because I sort of think, yeah, anyway, we're going to leave it there, because this video is going to go for ages. What was that one? Number 3. Number 4 is where do you think the world needs more support, and what qualities and tools and blah blah do you think you need? We need the magician with all his powerful tools, and to be aware of how to use them. And this other one came up as well, was I am fortune. So this says to me that to be aware of your resources, I guess. I mean, the magician is just full of, it's just overflowing with growth, and you know, he is so connected to everything. And I love that we got the card that's I'm aware, and I am fortune. I don't really know why the I am fortune one's sort of bugging me a bit, because I'm thinking of money, and sometimes it doesn't always come down to money. It's about thinking about how we use our own potential. I don't know, I guess you got to have time to sort of think about, oh, I missed that card, to think about it a bit more. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about that one a little bit more on that one. Yeah, and I also got this one for the first card, I am healthy, which is what the 8 of Pentacles really sort of resonates with me, as being of a healthy mind. You know, like he is in a really good space to be working like that because he is healthy. And it's the 8 as well, so it's just that, you know, the infinity symbol. Number 5, where is your happiest place and what kind of beings live there? Got the King of Cups, and I am open. The King of Cups is, he seems to be quite a soft-natured person. I think that's what I like to have, that kind of energy. I like to have, because he's very receptive, and obviously I am open, so you're quite receptive. So when I'm in my happiest place, I am receptive. I am feeling all the feels. I am just languishing in all of that good vibes, you know. This is seriously the place that fills me. It really, really fills me, and I am open to it. Wow, that's cool. Okay, number 6, if every single life experience in your life, the good and the bad, so what brought you around? If there was a specific destiny, what would that destiny be? This is the only one I don't like. Oh, there's another one too. Anyway, is the Hierophant. which is my birth card, or my sun sign, Taurus. And for the other two cards I got, I am fertile and I am humble. So there have been lots of trials and tribulations, but I think at the end of the day, I would like to say I know I'm still bouncing off this. If you've seen my personal Hierophant, the hashtag to Shane's video, I still have issues with the Hierophant. Because all I can see is the adversity and the struggle and the not so cool places to get to where I am today. But the fertile part of it is that there's always growth, that there's not always this limiting beliefs. And the Hierophant, I seem to think, well, what I'm learning to think is there's a lot of wisdom that comes from it, and maybe it's my own wisdom that I'm creating for myself, and the way that I want to turn. So I'm sort of turning away from the Hierophant because I know that's been always there. It's like this pillar, you know, the pillar, you know, like those great big Roman columns, you know, they'll stand there till the ends of time. You know they're there, but you don't necessarily have to acclimatize to it, you know. And I feel like I've always been on the outer of the pillar, if that makes sense. And then I am humble. Well, there's been a lot of moments that have made me humble and have brought me to my knees. So, and these guys at the bottom of the card seem to be on their knees. So I'm not too foreign to that idea of being humble, and certainly know my place at times. But I like the fact that you can plant seeds in a space where it might not necessarily seem fertile, and I think some people might overlook that part, and then, you know, and this is to do with potential as well. I mean, I really should take notice of my own encouragement, and it's always easy to encourage others than encouraging yourself. But anyway, this is, yeah, really cool food for thought there. And 7, the last one, if time, money, ability, confidence, prior commitments, and something else were no obstacle to doing what you wanted to do, what would you do? And this had to do with me being an artist. We had the Queen of Cups, so another Cups. So we've had the Knight and the King, and now the Queen, and the Six of Pentacles. So, and also with those cards, we got I'm nurturing. So the I am nurturing and the Queen of Cups go really well together. I think she is such a supportive person, even though she can be quite in her emotional realm. And I mean, I can certainly go there. Absolutely. I like the immersive quality of these two cards, because you do have to nurture that quality of drawing. You know, to be an artist, you have to nurture those skills and the time it takes. It takes time. It's something that I've learnt to adapt, not adapt, but adjust, I would say. Adjust to how I want to do those things, because those things to me are important, and you're going to put your heart and soul into that. That is quite apparent. If it means anything to you, that's what you're going to do, and you're going to nurture it. But the Six of Pentacles is this seems to be a limiting kind of energy. Like, I'm only going to give you a little bit. So I think this has a lot to do with my job. I mean, you see those videos and, you know, and it's almost like a little bit of clickbait where they're going, I've quit my job and I'm doing what I want to do because I can. And I have, I'm not going to go there because I'm going to start ranting. But yeah, I would say this is my job. And that's how my job makes me feel. I mean, you know, that's me. That's my job. Interesting. But yeah, definitely love the Queen of Cups and the nurturing part for sure. So I'm going to journal more on those because there's definitely some more digging and we're at 30 minutes. So that is my response to the 7 questions. Sorry, Brian. I will put the hashtag below. Thank you so much, Brian, for creating this. Another amazing hashtag. And I really hope that people jump on board. It's very thought-provoking. An amazing thing for me to have these cards spread out in front of me as well as my own questions. And then I can apply some more time on top of that and really sit with that, because there are some really cool information that's come from this. Yeah, I have really, really enjoyed it. And I thank you so much for being here. And if you've lasted this long, good on you. And go and have a cup of tea now. See you.